Hello YouTube, it's me again, Bilal at Thicker Color, and I have another video for you all today. This time I want to just talk a little bit about what my channel is going to be about and some of the things I'm going to be working with. I have my materials here to show you what I'm working with. So the thing is, I'm a new artist. I have a few pieces to start off with, but I'm a fairly new artist, and I know eventually I wanted to start a channel, but I had the feeling that it'd be a little better if I brought all of you along on the journey. So it's going to be a type of thing where you get to see my full development. You get to see my drawbacks and where I lack. You get to see my strong points and what I'm actually good at, and overall just have fun making art. So I really want you all to come along on the journey and into the world of art, and see my development. Okay, so here we go with the materials that I have to start with. You may say some of these things are cheap or not as professional utensils, but I use them to the best of my ability. So here we have I'm gonna start with my brushes because that's what's closer. So I have a few brushes, and I don't do any painting, but I have brushes just to spread the material around on the paper a little bit. So I basically work mostly in chalk, pastel, and colored pencil. So I use these mostly for the chalk. I rub the chalk off the paper or however like that. Also, I have a bigger brush for that as well to kind of get the chalk off the paper, and the erasings and all of those things, just to clean the paper off with. Then we have my blending tools. I usually use blending stomps, different sizes. I may keep one for a specific color. Each color have its own stomp, or sometimes I mix them. I clean them off and use them as much as possible. Also for blending the big areas, I use my basic tissue wrap. Like I say, I'm a beginner artist, so I'm still at the tissue stage. So here we also have this blending cloth. It's a cloth that is used for blending, but it I don't know, I haven't been able to use it a lot, but when I did, it wasn't a good experience, so I just put it back down because maybe I don't know how to use it yet. Then we have my pencils and drawing utensils. Here's just what I have for my graphite. I just have your regular number 2 pencils. I have your basic number 2 pencils like you used to use in school, and some lead pencils. And this is a woodless graphite pencil, but this one is a little scratchy. It doesn't lay down well, so I don't use this as often, but sometimes I may just shave it down and rub it on the paper and use it that way. But I try to find the best use for everything without having to waste materials. Then this one, I have this it's just a lead in a holder, and I use this mostly because it's such a thick lead, and all the leads I have extra leads for it. All the leads I have for it is this same thickness, so I usually use this just for shading and shadows. I don't use this much for line drawing, but I use this for shading a lot. It's good. It's a good lead. I like this one actually. I use it often. Then I have a few pens. I do some pen art line work And here I have a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen. This is the main one I use because it lay down a lot better than, you know, your ballpoint pen or, you know, this fine pen here. I guess it's related to the ballpoint pen too, but you know, sometimes I just use these just when I'm sketching and, you know, things like that. But this is my main pen here. Then I have my papers. Okay. Well, actually, I'll continue on with what else I laid down to work with. So my pastels, the pastels I use are, this is kind of a cheap brand, Low Cornell chalk. This is what I usually get my backgrounds down with and my large areas down with, you know, things I could waste on. That's what I use there. I also have a Prismacolor set of soft pastels, and this is what I get my details in with a little bit and get some real brilliant colors in. Then I have my pastel pencils, Derwent pastel pencils, and this is my really detailed work that I get in, and fine lines and those things like that. I can work with those Derwent pastel pencils. I like them a lot, actually. That's what I usually use. Here I have some oil pastels. I don't use these much. I tried it once or twice, and I'm not really familiar with the oil pastel process, but these are the ones I have for that, and maybe I'll get into that a little later. But I've seen some nice work done with them, but I just don't know how to do that yet. But so then we have, okay, here I also have just a Sharpie marker that I use when I'm doing pen and ink. You know, do background work with, and just some large areas in that. Just a few black and a white chalk pastels for my chalk work. So then we have the color pencils. Okay, this is a cheap brand of color pencil, 72. It has a whole lot of colors, and this is what I've used. You see, I use these often, and it's not as nice as some work I've seen. Not as brilliant in color, but I'm learning. So this is what I use to learn with, and I run them down. They're very cheap, so I just run them down as much as I need to get the color on the paper. I use this colorless blender. This was a Prismacolor colorless blender to blend the color pencils in. Now here I have a set of 24 Prismacolor color pencils. This is probably going to be the best color pencils I have to work with, but I haven't started using them yet because most of the work I do is chalk pastel. But when I really get down into the color pencil work and I understand how to use these, then I'll start laying them down on the paper. They're not the cheapest of pencils, so and it's not a whole array of colors, so I really need to know and have an understanding of how to use these before I actually run them down. Then here we have a Koh-i-Noor set of woodless color pencils. These are really oily. They're woodless color pencils, but I've done some nice work with these. I actually I don't see a lot of people using these woodless color pencils, but I like how they lay down. There's some specifics that I use these for, and I'll go over those specific works in other videos to show you, you know, how I use these and what I use them for. They're actually some pretty nice, a nice set of pencils. They're 24 pencils, not a lot of colors, but they actually they blend well, and they are a nice set to work with. So those are my color pencils. Then I just have here is a sandpaper that I use to shave down the shavings on my pencils and sharpen them, and clean off my blending stumps sometimes. You can always use some sandpaper in art. Well, this is a set of knives that I use. What I use this for is also sharpening pencils and blending stumps, but also sometimes if the color pencil with cheap material, sometimes you get blotches of areas, and I use these just to lift the color or the pencil up off of the paper a little bit without really damaging too much of anything. It's good for that. I think this set was really made for maybe, I don't know, carving wood or something, but I use a few of these for what I do. So you may see me use those to sharpen pencils or something like that sometimes. Now, as far as my erasers go, I have your basic erasers, just some basic erasers. I have a eraser in a holder. I use this one often, and my kneadable eraser. I see every artist have one of these, and I got one, so it works pretty well just to pull the color up off the paper. All right, then I have my here I have my charcoal, pastel, and pencil fixation. This is a fixative where you spray it on there so that the material won't come up off the paper after you're all done with it. It's for storing and stuff like that. And I have this is a Gamsol brand odorless mineral spirits that I use for blending the color pencil. I need to learn a little bit more how to use that better, but I seen it being used, I liked it, so I'm gonna try it out. And my pencil sharpeners, I have a little battery pencil sharpener and some hand pencil sharpeners, and sometimes that's what I use to sharpen my pencils. Okay, the paper that I normally use, this is my sketchbook that I have a 100 sheet Strathmore just fine tooth paper. This is what I mainly use for sketching, and we will go over this sketchbook in another video, but I have more empty pages to go to fill, so I'll be going over that with you all soon. Here I just have some extra scrap paper, some computer paper, that I like to do sketches on before I put them on the big paper, just on hand as I need it. Here, this is my bigger paper. It's a Canson mixed media. This is what I do my chalk pastel on. It works well for the chalk pastel, and that's my the main sketchbook. So that's what I have, and those are the materials I'm using now. And eventually I'll have a whole lot more. I know this is very few to work with, very little to work with, but that's what this is about. You all seeing my process of development and watching me grow. And I hope you all like the channel and have a good time here, and maybe some people are inspired to just jump into what they love and go for it. And that's what I'm doing here, and I hope to see a lot of growth and development and things accomplished on this channel. So if you like what you hear and you think it's a good idea for me to for you all to come along, and you want to see some good work, then subscribe, and stay tuned. Thank you.